This next video here is someone that we don't like here. We do not like this person very much. We actually haven't covered this person in some time because just so much shit weaselry, you know what I mean? Just so bad. Just really awful. A really terrible person, a frustrating person to watch content from. Does anyone have any guesses? You're guessing Paul Joseph Watson. That's not it. Scarcella. Well, wouldn't you know it? You read the description of the stream, and it is Scarcella. It is, in fact, Arielle Scarcella. Watching insane trans activist TikToks. These are unreal. What a dumbass. Arielle Scarcella blocked me on Twitter. She's a big fan of Gothics. She's a big loser. Arielle Scarcella is, of course, she is famous for being a lesbian and being mad at trans people. Those are the two things that she's known most about, or known most for, rather. She is just absolutely awful. So let's see her video on some trans activist TikToks and why she's upsetty spaghetti.
Wish I knew before top surgery. It makes you cooler, hotter, and smarter than everyone else.
Hey.
Wait, what? That was a weird thing.
Did you know that being a lesbian makes you cooler, smarter, and hotter than everyone else? Yes, today is a great day to stir up some bullshit. Just imagine how society would come for gays and lesbians. They already have. Remember that video that went viral a while back of the gays being like, "We're coming for your children." If we actually said something like this.
Wait, what? Wait, she took it seriously? Wait, I thought she was joking. Wait. She's just a boomer, dude. She's just old. She's come on, bro. Come the fuck. That was a joke. Why is her face dirty? No, that's just how she is. Because she's just so shitty. She's a shitty person. She's turning into the dark side. The hate is consuming her. This is really stupid.
Like, it's literally the idea of the gay agenda. It's what kept us from getting our rights for so long. And now these trans kids are saying shit like this, getting millions of views, getting
because
total
it's a
support.
joke. It's a joke. Why? She's mad. Wait. She's mad that she didn't get to say this and they're getting total support. She's mad that they're getting support. That's why she's upset. She's just saying, hey, they're getting support now. I can't believe they're getting support. Yeah, they're getting support. Because they're funny. People don't fucking like you, though.
Changing laws, all because society is afraid of being called a bigot. Absolutely.
No! Trans people are not getting rights because I'm afraid to be a bigot. They are getting rights because they deserve them. What? It's so weird to say. It's so weird to assume that trans people are getting respected because I'm not a trans person, so I'm just scared of the transes. What do you mean? What? Trans people they just deserve freedom to live however they want. Just like anybody else. I don't care. What?
Absolutely insane.
Binary. I hope everyone knows that we need to protect the women and children has been used against marginalized people for most of human history. These comments upset me because it's anti-trans.
So we need to protect women and children is anti-trans.
Is she intentionally stupid? Like, do you think she just did that on purpose? Like, clearly, this non-binary like, Arielle Scarcella, she fucking heard this and just stripped it of context. The non-binary person in that video literally said, when used against trans people, like, these types of things are used against people. And the quote above here was in response. Does she not know how TikTok works? They're responding, and I don't know if she knows this. They are responding to this right here. This is who will be in your restrooms with your daughter's embarrassed face. That's a reply to that. How do you not know? This is Jeffrey Martin. I don't know people. They? Yeah, they. Non-binary, right? I figured they. I don't know who Jeffrey Marsh is. But maybe it's them. I don't know. This is so stupid.
So we need to protect women and children.
So
it's anti-trans. If trans women are women, listen to this logic. If trans women are women, and everyone in your leftist community keeps saying protect trans women and protect trans youth, isn't that going completely against what you just said?
No. What? No. Because the thing that is being said is that, like, these people can't be trusted in bathrooms. You can protect women and children and not worry about where someone takes a dump at Target. What? Literally, people use, like Arielle Scarcella and the people that support her, use the arguments of, like, oh, this person that looks different than they expected them to look, I don't know, is non-binary, is more masked, I don't know. And by the way, this harms butch lesbians all the time. Like, the thing that Arielle Scarcella does, butch lesbians specifically have a hard time because because a butch lesbian likes to express in a butch way, is a lesbian, is a cis woman, but constantly this keeps happening. Butch people keep getting like harmed or thrown out or assaulted or berated because someone goes, you're a trans person. They probably don't say trans person, but like, and it hurts your specific community because you buck against this instead of just being like, oh yeah, anyone gets to live how they live. This is not smart. This is not an interesting or smart thing you said. You are fucking dumb. Why is she so dumb?
Not fucking surprised. They have.
It's not fucking. What do you mean? It's not even. You are not logically consistent. That is not how people think. Is she drunk? Does she just drink wine all day? She's wine drunk?
A little bit more to say, so let's listen.
It strikes me as anti your own daughters, anti young people, anti women. If you are a young person, if you're a daughter, if you are a woman, would you do me a favor? Please let all of the men in your life know that you can take care of yourself.
In some instances, yes, we can take care of ourselves. In others, no. It's not weak to admit that you sometimes, as a woman or a child, need help or protection from men.
But that's not what's being said. That is not what's being said. What I don't understand why she does this. That is not what was said. What was said was basically, hey, trust women to police their own spaces. Men don't have to toss in their 2 cents about who gets to take a shit in the bathroom. It was just against this sort of idea that men need to be policing shit constantly and sort of be in charge of these things. Like, how? Why are you so dumb? She's so dumb, bro.
In regards to mental health, isn't that what we also teach people?
What?
That it's not weak to admit that you need help?
What? Why are we talking about... She's just genuinely stupid, right? I don't know how you even get there from that sentence. Like, how do you get to this point? We're talking about mental health, and now someone said, I don't need men to police my spaces, and that means that we don't need anyone involved with mental health that is a man, according to Arielle Scarcella. How did she even get to this point? Holy shit, that is brainworms.
So why wouldn't it be the same in regards to physical strength? Admitting that males are usually
What? Why are we talking about physical strength?
way physically stronger than females isn't
What?
being a bad feminist, it's being logical.
What? Wait, what? What are we? Wait, where did physical strength come into play? What is she talking about? I can't believe she's so stupid. What?
And don't even start about how this person somehow even made protecting women and children into an anti-trans statement about trans and non-binary people. I know cis gay men aren't shit because they love to eat ass but are disgusted by men's pussies. Weak. Dear gays. Remember when we lesbians were speaking out against the homophobic nonsense and we were getting shit for not wanting to suck dick? And
getting shit for not wanting to suck dick, man. I don't know why they have to hear this again. No one, if you don't want to suck a dick, you don't have to. No one's saying you have to do anything. I actually don't know any leftist trans person that says if you're a lesbian and you are not attracted to me, a woman, then you are transphobic. It depends. I mean, if you're unattracted to someone because they're trans, that's transphobic. But if you're just not attracted to somebody, or you don't like pieces they have in their body, or you don't like something, then that's fine. Schmoop. B. Thanks for the 10 months, dude. Like, what? It's so weird.
we had asked for your support, and many of you completely ignored it. Well, now they're coming for you. Don't tell us we didn't warn you. There are lesbians who like men. There are lesbians who are men. There are lesbians who are straight. There are lesbians who are bisexual. There are all this and more.
So I know she has a really limited view on what lesbian means, and that's fine. And I actually don't know if communicating it like this is super helpful to anybody. Like, I really don't like the idea of putting the @ and the whatever on your fucking video. That's pretty shitty. But I don't think this is like wrong, but I don't think this is a good way to communicate it. To be fair, I don't think this person's in charge of communicating it. This to me is very similar to when Milo said that everybody is racist way back in the day, and it's like, that's not the way that we need to talk about this. That's clickbait. You know what I mean? Like, it's not wrong necessarily when you get into the conversation of everybody that, you know, in America in some way interacts with racism, and a lot of people benefit from racism in ways that they don't understand and are complicit in racism in ways they don't understand. Ergo, they're racist, which I don't necessarily agree with. But I do agree with most of it that basically get rid of the ergo. I don't think you're necessarily racist if you are a product of that environment and you don't know how, like, that it's bad, right? If you're just like a kid that's grown up in Mississippi, they're racist in the same way that they believe in Santa Claus. You know what I mean? You could probably undo that. It's just when the later stuff, after they've been told and how it works out and down the line, like when you're an adult and stuff, I guess the viewers. But Moroccan, thanks for the 5 months. She's so stupid.
These people are also coming for our language. Like, what do these words
coming for our language?
What do words even mean at this point, honestly? Thank God for the replies on this tweet. It's what gives me faith for about
the transphobia on Milo was fucking wild at the time. Yeah, it was wild. I didn't watch a lot of that stuff, but I remember that video.
Literally 5 minutes, because just you wait and see what else I've dug up for this terrible video. Also, this person who wrote this tweet identifies as a communist and uses it and its for their pronouns, so for its pronouns. Also autistic, ADHD, plural, Jewish, I don't even know. Void creature? What does that even mean? Okay, somebody said, never seen someone so mad about being straight. Somebody also said, there are vegans who like meat. There are vegans who are meat eaters. There are vegans who are carnivores. There are vegans who are omnivores. There are all this and more. All of those are true except for the first one. There are tons of vegans that might like meat and just...
Wait, she took that? Oh my God. Oh my God, dude. The vegan person was replying to that in a way that Arielle should have agreed with. Isn't that weird? It was like, haha, isn't this funny? And then that person, she's validating that. Okay, she doesn't understand things. She doesn't understand how the internet works, dude. This person is fucking internet blind. I don't know. She can't navigate this stuff. Like, it's pretty obvious what these tweets are, right? That we're looking at. Like
choose
void creatures, obviously, right? Like
not to. Their diet just doesn't consist of it. The other sentences don't make sense at all. Also important to know.
really, the other sentences don't make sense at all. Surprise, because oh my god, she's crusty, dude. I don't know what's going on here with the brain, but it is brain bees city right now.
Note that we can't conflate sexual orientation with being a vegan. One is a choice and one isn't. Sexual orientation is not a choice.
Why is she taking that seriously? Why is she taking that seriously? I can't believe she is taking the vegan. Oh my god. Holy shit. Just like first day on Twitter kind of shit.
It's not a preference. Being a vegan 100% is a choice. And
is this her thing? She can't understand tone or understand sarcasm or jokes or tongue-in-cheek or euphemism? Is she just 100% literal at all times? She's like genuinely incapable of parsing a sentence.
a preference. But I do appreciate that person's tweet because he meant well. He was standing up against homophobia. Somebody wrote, hey, I'm curious to what your definition of lesbian actually is, because from what you've listed, it seems like something under the bisexual umbrella, so I'm a bit confused. And they wrote in response, the person that identifies as a communist, a lesbian is someone who identifies as a lesbian, although it's more commonly defined as queer attraction to women, which works almost as well. No. A lesbian is not queer attraction to women. A lesbian is somebody who lives as a woman, who has primary and secondary female sex characteristics.
This second part is untrue. You do not have to have primary and secondary sex characteristics of a lady. Like that's not like what we would consider feminine sex characteristics. You do not need to have that to be a lesbian. That's silly. That's the silliest part. The first part I was a little bit fine with.
Who is attracted to other women who live as women.
Who live as women. No. Like someone who identifies to. I mean, this can change. This can change a little bit, but I would say lesbians with mastectomies aren't lesbians. Got it right. Women attracted to women, lesbian. So you could be a lot of things. Like that's it. That's the whole thing, right? You could be a non-binary lesbian too. You could identify as that because maybe you're like you feel more comfortable with that. Like it really just gets down to like what's your most what's the comfortable thing for you? What does it feel like? And you're like, oh, lesbian feels right to me. That feels like a correct thing. And like, if you want to get in the weeds about what it means so much, why don't you just fucking stop? Like, why does it matter what they label? If you disagree, be like, okay, cool. I don't get it, but damn. Like what? Most people who identify as lesbians are usually like at least like they say I identify as a woman and I like people who identify as women. That's usually what it is. But it doesn't have to be that. It's like saying pizza is usually one thing. It is kind of usually crust, cheese, sauce, pepperoni or something, or like a very basic topping, basil. I don't know. It's usually that. But pizza's a lot of fucking things. Is a pizza roll pizza? It's certainly close enough to pizza. It's got all the pizza stuff. Is a calzone a pizza? It's pretty close. Is a pizza sub got actual pizza in it? You know what I mean? Is a Lunchables pizza? It's not baked. I don't know, dude. Deep dish is not actually a lasagna. No. Deep dish comes from an old Roman recipe. Learn stuff.
Who also have primary and secondary female sex characteristics. I can't believe I have to say this, but no, a lesbian is also not a non-man attracted to other non-men. Also, can we please stop calling women non-men? It's fucking degrading. But
are women called non-men ever? I agree with that. I don't think couching it in terms of who is a man and who is not, but I mean it can be useful language depending on how we're talking, right? Because I think in this scenario it's not calling women non-man. It's saying just everyone who doesn't identify as a man can be that, because it includes non-binary and gender non-conforming people. So I don't think this specific scenario is that thing. I would agree if someone was saying like non-men to refer to the binary of men and women only, but I do not think that's happening. So, yeah. None men left beef. True.
But wait, there's more. I need feminism because I get catcalled for wearing a skirt too. And somebody wrote, by who?
Why does it matter? That person says I get fucking catcalled. What does it matter? By who? Just because you're not attracted to this person? Just because you are not attracted to this person does not mean that they do not get sexually harassed by anybody. I do not understand why that matters. Like, why would Arielle do this? It's so weird.
By who? My friend Mars wrote, pretty sure they're confusing getting made fun of with being catcalled. I love you, Mars. Okay.
See, why? Why do you love someone for being a dick to another person because they look at a way that you don't think is attractive? This is so weird. I do not understand why, if you are not attracted to somebody, you have to go out of your way to be a dick when they're trying to say, hey, my experience is that I get catcalled. And then you're like, nuh-uh, who would do that? Because you wouldn't. What kind of fucking brain is that, dude?
Okay, this...
It's just being mean for no reason. Like, that served no purpose in this video.
I have a problem with. It's a post on Reddit, and it's under male to female, trans, homosexual, apparently. Let's talk about this. It says, I just feel a lot of euphoria from someone calling me slut, whore, bitch, and the nickname for, I don't even know what that means, doesn't matter, slut, whore, and bitch. Okay.
So this is really common for subs. I mean, apparently Arielle is not into kink spaces. So this is, I mean, I don't know if this person just likes it in general, like day to day. You could be into that. I don't know why, but I don't feel that way. But a lot of people do. I don't think a lot of people are going to just be doing that day to day, but it's usually a kink thing. Like they say, you feel euphoria from someone calling me a slut, whore, bitch. That's super normal for a lot of kink spaces for people to request that, right? Regardless of gender or sexuality or any of that, like literally just if you are a sub, it is likely that you like that. I mean, even a top could probably like that, or I guess a dom, but I use those interchangeably. I know they're usually gay community, but I use those interchangeably sometimes. But this is super sub behavior, so I don't know. Real Dino, thanks for following. I'm personally a dom, so I don't identify with this, but I think Arielle is going to be very, very just confused about this. She doesn't seem like she's into kink.
Okay, I had a trans woman ex-friend of mine who actually told me something very similar. She had said that when somebody called her a bitch, it was when she finally knew that she was passing out.
Oh, do you mean in that way? In this way? That makes sense too. I don't see how that would be a bad... I actually think this is interesting. Because the way the trans community is treated, Arielle, you are complicit in this, and a progenitor of, I mean, you really, really cause a lot of pain for people, and should really consider why you do it. For money is the reason. You are a grifter, and that's sad, dude. You harm people for money. That's really fucking, that sucks. Like, I hope Arielle watches this video, because she kind of fucking hates me, and that's kind of funny. I hope you watch this and realize that you make money to harm people. Like, that's how it works. The interaction is that you harm someone, people watch, you get clicks, you make money. Do you think you're helping people? Who? Because the people you help are helped by way of harm. So, anyway. Don't kink shame. As far as the conversation at hand with the calling someone like slut or something, I could understand how if you have gender dysphoria, if getting called a gendered pejorative that aligns with your I don't want to say just gender because that's not it. Like, kind of what you're trying to project as gender. Not just your gender expression, not just your gender, but kind of what you want everybody else to experience from you. I understand how that could be validating. Because it is interesting that some people, I don't know, like, oh, they don't like me, but, I mean, they called me a woman in a way, right? That makes sense. And it's shitty because that's the kind of unhealthy relationship with the validation of someone's gender that comes with transphobia, right? Like, that's not a good thing that causes euphoria, but it is going to be a thing until people like Arielle stop being fucking shitty to people.
As a woman in society, right? It validated her gender identity, it validated her in society and people seeing her as the gender that she was. And while I know it's important for these people to feel good in their own bodies and have society see them as the way they see themselves, can we talk about how these are derogatory terms? And it's also kind of,
I mean, yeah, they're derogatory terms, that's the point.
fetishy. Almost being degraded is turning them on.
Wait. Euphoria didn't say fetishy. Also, there's nothing wrong at all with fetish. If you have a fetish for being degraded, that's dope as fuck. Maybe we should hook up.
This is what they think being a woman is. Apparently it happens to trans women when they start getting catcalled as well. Not like the person that was in the previous slide, but you know. I would consider it somewhat to be a fetish because it's something that these people are desiring, even though it's a negative.
She just doesn't understand the kink part of it. Like, if someone is actually turned on by being degraded, that's just a fine, normal kink thing. As long as you have consent for that kind of thing, not a big deal. Like, people like that shit. I don't know. She's probably extremely boring in bed. I mean, it is what it is.
Cis gay men would rather shove an eggplant up their asshole than have sex with trans masculine people. And personally, I hope those eggplants get them sent to the ER. I've heard of plenty of gay men shoving way more things up their ass than just an eggplant. Still doesn't mean that they need to like female genitalia though. I mean, sexual orientation is defined by what people find sexually attractive in other people, not what they do with their own bodies. It's not what we put in our own bodies or what body parts we put in other people's bodies. It's how we are attracted to those other people's bodies if we are sexually attracted to them. As
a boy isn't female genitalia. Yeah. I mean, I'm fine if someone doesn't want to like have sex with somebody because they don't have the equipment that is part of their sex. But like, I don't think there's a bunch of gay dudes out here like denying sex with trans mask people because of lack of dick if they happen to not have a dick. But I think that person is talking about specifically the segment of the gay population that just won't have sex with trans people in general. Like says the words like, I'm not attracted to trans people because they're transphobic, not because they just, you know what I mean? Like, If you refuse to be attracted to someone because of the fact that they are trans and not because of what they have physically that you like or dislike, that is transphobia, and that's the point, right? That's the point. If you are someone that just vaginas just do not do it for you, like you just cannot engage with that sexually, I get it. That's fine. I mean, I don't get that, but I get it. You know, I understand it intellectually. I love vaginas personally, but if you don't, that's fine. You don't have to. Similarly, you don't have to like dicks. That's fine too. I understand. If you don't like masked people, if you don't like femme people, if you don't like people with big beards, if you don't like people with bellies like me, that all of this is fine. You all of that. But I don't believe that's what that person was saying, nor is that how Arielle even couches her like thought process. So. Super dumb.
Straight man, is being attracted to lesbians a fetish or a deeper psychological issue? And I'm not giving this person hate, let me be clear, because they are a viewer of these videos and they're cool. But I do think it's a really interesting question. And
what was the question? I was trying to reach out. As a straight man, is being attracted to lesbians a fetish or a deeper psychological issue? As a straight man, is being attracted to lesbians a fetish or interesting. I guess I'll hear her answer, then I'll talk about
this person hate, let me be clear, because they are a viewer of these videos and they're cool.
Because I agree with her.
I do think it's a really interesting question, and I didn't know what other video to put it in besides this. My thoughts are that there's no true way to be attracted to lesbians, just like there's no...
What?
true way to be attracted to straight women. You're attracted to characteristics of a person's sex.
Oh, I see what she said. Never mind. Okay. This makes more sense.
Characteristics, mannerisms, their voice, their smell.
No, I thought she was saying something stupid too, but she's not. She just said it. She just communicated that poorly.
The way they carry themselves. How could you be attracted to something that could be impossible to know without actually asking someone? If what you really mean to say is that you're attracted to masculine women, that's not a fetish, that's not weird, that's normal. There are plenty of straight men that are attracted to
Wait, why are we saying it's not a fetish? We can have fetishes.
butch women, more masculine.
There's a difference between having a fetish and fetishizing someone. Why can't we make that distinction? There's a difference between saying, I like watching two women make out, and then always fetishizing lesbians, like the way Dave does it. Like, do you think if I'm having a threesome, there is not something that I like about the aesthetic of the other two people getting after it? But it's not fetishizing. It is just a thing that is enjoyable. For many different reasons that I won't go into. But there's a big difference. If you fetishize the idea of lesbians, where you're just like, yeah, girls making out, bro. Who's Dave? Oh, Dave. Logarth. A fetish is something you absolutely cannot enjoy sex without. Well, not necessarily. A kink is something you enjoy but don't need to enjoy. Well, maybe I guess you're right. Maybe. Yeah. Fetish you cannot enjoy sex without. I don't know the definition of fetishes. Fetish definition. Form of sexual desire which gratification is linked to an abnormal degree to a particular object, item, or clothing. See, I think fetish is just like a more intense version. Like, and usually fetishes are born out of, repression. It's such a different thing. I don't think that's quite right, but you're not off too far. Does that make sense? Avery Litcher, thanks for the 3 months. All right, fetish means more than the average amount of sexual gratification. I would say fetishistic disorder. See, fetishistic disorder is different than having a fetish. Anyway, we don't have to get in the weeds with that. It's kind of irrelevant, but it's sort of just nitpicky.
Presenting women, just like there are plenty of straight women who are attracted to more effeminate men. That's not an issue or a fetish. But if what you're saying is when you find out that someone is a lesbian and then you are suddenly attracted to them, that is a fetish.
I can't believe it. She said a correct thing. I agree.
I don't know if that would be considered like a cuckolding thing.
Why? It's not cuckold. And then she immediately gets it wrong, where she's like cuckolding, but she doesn't understand kink at all. Why? Now it's about kink. Okay, just fucking immediate. Just we were on the rails, and now we're off them again.
The idea that you want to be with somebody and you can't have them, and you want to watch—that's definitely fetishy, in my opinion. Saving the worst for last. Here's the worst. Here we go. This is. Ooh, girl.
Is this gonna be a TikTok video? Because there's only 2 TikTok videos. She doesn't understand kink because TERFs don't fuck good.
This is 100%. This is the worst one. Tell me you're a leftist without telling me you're a leftist. See that smug look on their faces? Every time. It has nothing to do with being trans. It has nothing to do with being gay. It has everything to do with being entitled, smug little shits that have that look.
It's quite challenging to LGBT people because if gender is on a spectrum, then homosexuality doesn't really exist because it can only exist in a binary.
If gender is on a spectrum, homosexuality doesn't really exist. This person literally just said that homosexuality doesn't exist.
Then homosexuality doesn't really exist because it can only exist in a binary.
I mean, this sounds like a liberal. This sounds like someone who. What's the rest of the clip? I have no idea. Stopping it right there. I guess I gotta go find. Do I have to go find this? Can anyone find me that clip? Anybody want to find me this clip? Let's see if there's any context. Because right now, I disagree with that, because obviously homosexuality can exist, because if there is a spectrum, that doesn't, just because there's not a binary doesn't mean you can't be homosexual or whatever, or at least whatever we call homosexual. But what I think this is just semantics. I think they're saying that like homosexuality implies homogeneity. You know what I mean? So if gender is a spectrum, so is sexuality, and it's not that hard. Yeah, I mean that's pretty easy. It's not giving me a rage boner. I had it removed years ago. No. Yeah, it's just a definitional. Yeah, it's just definitional. Yeah. Then heterosexuality can't exist either. Right. I think this person's either in the middle of a point that they didn't get to finish because Arielle cut it off instead of playing the rest of the clip, or they're just wrong and don't really understand the broader thing of it. By the way, is this a trans priest caller? Because I'm kind of into that. Millinoiled. Thanks.
If gender is on a spectrum, homosexuality doesn't really exist.
You think this person is a TERF?
Literally just said that homosexuality.
You think this person is a TERF? Deacon Joy Everingham, chaplain, Kenton Christ Church University. Saying that there's a need for any separate organization for LGBT sexualities when there is a trans campaigner. Yeah, I don't think this is an LGBT person.
It doesn't really exist because it can only
exist.
It's
not a TERF. This person has a trans flag on their.
Sexuality doesn't really exist. This person literally just said that homosexuality doesn't exist.
I mean, ask a leftist, and then we disagree. I disagree.
We just became so woke that we cured homosexuality by simply stating that it doesn't even exist in the first place.
What are you talking about? Why is she so mad about that?
It's not even a real thing. Cured it. Done.
Didn't they say the LGBT community at the beginning? Did they?
Shits that have that look.
It's quite challenging to LGBT people because if
LGBT people
is on a spectrum, then homosexuality doesn't really exist because it can only exist in a binary.
I just don't think that's what they're saying. It says quite challenging to LGBT people, implying that LGBT people that aren't part of the trans community. This sounds like if LGBT people frame it in this way, then it doesn't make sense. This is what it sounds like. Like the context of this says, if you frame it in a certain way because of this, then homosexuality can't exist. So you can't frame it that way to get rid of trans people. I think she's talking to LGBT people because in Britain they have LGBT specific organizations. Either way, I don't know what's going on here, but it sounds like we're being stripped of some context. I could be wrong. If this is what this person means, then I disagree with it. That's fine. YouTuber face. Oh yeah, this was super dumb.
I can no longer take this bullshit. Please give this video a thumbs up if you want me to do more videos reacting to ridiculous leftists, because
ridiculous leftists. I'm gonna look it up. Deacon Joy Everingham. Deacon Joy Everingham. Do we have videos? Videos.
Trans pride is different because it's talking about gender rather than sexuality. It's quite challenging to LGBT people because if gender is on a spectrum, then homosexuality doesn't really exist because it can only exist in a binary. So when it comes down to it, it's just two people or maybe three or whatever loving each other. You know, it's nothing to do with sexuality, and sexuality is redundant.
Okay, so it just sounds like a gender abolitionist. It's just sexuality from a gender abolitionist standpoint. Or something. I don't know. Sounds like gender abolition. I mean, it certainly doesn't sound like this is saying homophobia. Like, I am not hearing homophobia here. I am hearing like, well, it's just two people, three people, whatever, loving each other because gender isn't really a thing, I guess. But anyway, If you want to hear homophobia in that, you are more than welcome to try that. That's